This is Odin's Wolf Survival in the Great Forests of Kansas. And today on the Shield, we'll be making emergency candles, survival candles, camp candles, whatever you want to call them. And we're using empty Tabasco bottles, the small ones. Simply because they're already preset for the hole to hold the wick. And with a simple modification to the wick or addition to the wick, you can make it adjustable or don't slide back down into the bottle, which can be the problem. We have one already done, and as you can tell, it's burned a little bit. And this one's using liquid paraffin. You can easily adjust it. Let me get hold of that little metal bit. Filling these is a trick. So I come up with this. I don't have a little funnel. It disappeared. Couldn't find one. And I had an extra meat injector. And I don't like carrying these around with the needle exposed because it usually ends up somewhere I don't want it, like in me, or tearing things up. So it's a piece of aquarium tubing that I glued down. Silicone glue actually held it down. Put it on the opposite side. But after you use it with liquid paraffin, which is a petroleum product or olive oil or anything like that, well, especially with the liquid paraffin, don't ever use this for food because you're not going to ever get it clean enough. And this needle will fit inside the hole. So once you fill up the body of the syringe with your liquid, it'll easily be able to put it in there. Kind of an ad hoc thing that I had to do because when I was making this, couldn't find my funnel. Not even sure if I got it anymore. It's kind of how it happens. Okay, wicking material. This is handmade cotton from cotton cord. I just twisted up using a cordage twist, of which I've got videos of. This is jute. You can use any natural material that'll wick. I bought these at Hobby Lobby, and they're actually liquid candle, paraffin lamp wicks, of which that's what I'm using in this. And then on top of it, the easy thing to do, because once you got something like this, you either double it up and twist it again to get it a little thicker. If you want it that thin, you're going to have to do something to keep it from dropping back down inside. This is what we call bread ties, wire ties, plastic coated. Carefully strip the plastic off with a knife. Kind of sad that I actually have to say that, but you strip the plastic off, which is easily enough done. Get a thin, sharp blade and pull it through. It's like stripping hard wire. You'll strip one edge off, and then you just basically keep going till your wire comes out. Like that. Then you travel down the length of it, and usually what I'll do is use the back of the knife and straighten the wire out. Okay, once you do that, you'll have this. And then this is the twisted cotton cord. You can run a bit of it, bend the end just a tiny bit if you want. And slip it into the wick. Then you come up leave a little wick out, and I'll wrap a couple wraps around. Don't make it stupid tight because you're going to have to pull the wick through this. You want it tight enough to hold the wick, but loose enough to where the wick can slide up like that. Okay, so you set it where you want your wick height. The wick will burn away, so you're going to have to do this. And then I'll form a little loop. You don't want it sticking out very far. And that'll grab the top of the top edge of the lip up here to keep it from dropping down. So if you can, okay, that won't drop in. So that's good. Then secure it. The easy way is your leg, bring it up, do a couple of twists, straighten out your leg, and then break off your wire. And there's your wick. Now this end, you want to secure it with something when you cut the knot off, otherwise it'll start fraying. So we can just use a wire down here and just wrap it tight. It's not necessary. You could use a piece of cord, piece of thread, but whatever you do, you'll want it to where it'll slide back into the bottle. Slide it in. This sets up. This one I'm filling up with olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, anything along that line. There. That's how that's set up. All right, now to fill it, it gets a little more lively. Since this has had petroleum product in it, I'm not going to stick it directly into my olive oil bottle. No point in contaminating the bottle. Okay. Or we can go this route. Depending on how easily it wants to jet down in there. Since olive oil is a vegetable oil and it won't wick very far, you'll need to basically keep it fairly high up in the bottle. So having some extra along. I usually use ultra pure lamp oil in this, the liquid paraffin. Don't use kerosene or anything along that line. That burns entirely too hot, and you'll have a way big issue. I've never had one of these using vegetable oil or the liquid paraffin, anything along that line. Never really had a problem with it. But if you use something along the line of kerosene or regular lamp oil, which I believe is a kerosene, you could be creating a bigger fire than what you want. That tends to spread from the base faster than you want. It can get hot enough, I think, to break the bottle. I haven't tried it. That might be an experiment on big slab of cement one of these days. I probably need to invest in a couple of little funnels. But like everything else, those little funnels, you buy them, you put them up where you know where they're at, and I will guarantee that when you have to have them, you won't find them. Right up until the point you buy a new one. Whatever you do with this thing, be careful. That's a honking big needle. You really don't want it stuck in you. This syringe is an older one, so it may be kind of funny, but also olive oil is rather thick, so it may not want to draw well or push through the needle well. Granted, it's fairly thick or big hole in the needle, but might not be big enough. Okay, we'll blow that out. Then, just like you would expect, and olive oil will burn a long time. So you'll get a bit of light, and it usually don't smoke unless you have your wick too tall, which I know the wick is too tall there. But we also don't have any char material to make it light easier, so your initial light will smoke a little and it'll take care of itself real fast. This is the liquid paraffin. This is the olive oil. Be careful when you're wrapping the bit of bread wrapper, small wire around the wick, that you don't choke it off. You can easily choke it off. Instead, what I did was I ran further down the length of the wicking material, basically like this. Once you got the plastic off, I went around it once to where it'll hold it, brought them back up, bent some small ears to go over the top of the jar or the bottle to where it go over the top of the bottle. Cut these off to where they fit. Slide it in there. Put the cap on, turn it upside down. Let the olive oil soak into it, and it still appears like it doesn't really like. They do a flat wick a lot better, of which we'll do another one of those later. Olive oil burns really good for quite a long time in a shallower vessel. Thought I'd try it in this. I know this worked. I've used a light vegetable oil that has worked, but that smokes. But there you have an emergency candle. I would use the liquid paraffin. It tends to burn better. You can get it. Oh, Walmart will have it sometimes. I found it at Ace Hardware, this bottle. Hobby Lobby has it. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, because I think that bottle was about this container, I think, was $10 or $12, but it'll last quite a long time in this. And you can also get it where it has the citronella and different things in it. So different colors. There it is. That's the Tabasco bottle emergency candle lamp, camp lamp, however you want to do it. You can even catch a glass tube if you can find one and fit over it like a chimney. Just remember to put some nicks in the bottom, some file marks, whatever, around the bottom to where it'll draw the air up, and then it'll even be windproof. Thank you for watching. This is Odin's Wolf Survival on the shield today with the lamp. Have a glorious day. Like, subscribe, and share. It helps me out.